to another installment of WFCF TV. Happy to have with us today Al Steinmack, who is President and CEO of Metal Essence, Inc. More importantly, at least near and dear to the Florida Chamber and the Florida Chamber Foundation, Al is a longtime board member of the Board of Directors of the Florida Chamber, and also a participant in the Talent Supply and Education Caucus that is meeting this week in Orlando. So Al, I want to turn right away and ask you just a couple of questions. Give us some sense your leadership role in manufacturing, its importance to the state of Florida. Give our listeners some sense of why manufacturing matters and its role in the entire portfolio picture, if you will, of the state's economy.
Manufacturing, to me, it's extremely important. I think they're going to be drivers of economic recovery. They create a lot of jobs, and they have a tremendous multiplying effect in the jobs that they create.
We got a strong base, a weak base. How would you assess manufacturing in our state?
Manufacturing in the state has lost a lot of jobs over the past 2 years, probably more than some. I see some recovery, but I think the skill sets are becoming a larger necessity. We still have a lot of openings. Manufacturing is strictly critical not only to our economy but national security. And manufacturing, a lot of people are still not aware, is still United States manufacturing is still by far the largest in the world. We have a 21% global share of all the manufacturing. The closest competitor to us is Japan with 13%, and in China, which everybody talks about, is still at 12%.
You've already mentioned that you're an important member of our board of directors for the Chamber and also a participant in the Talent Supply and Education Caucus. The presence of a CEO in manufacturing having a conversation about talent supply and education may leave people scratching their heads and wondering what that intersection is. Tell me why that makes a difference in your business and for you personally.
I think it's absolutely appropriate. It's absolutely great. I'm a big believer in it. I was recently, I don't know if you're aware, I was in a National Talent Development Roundtable. I was one of the 36 individuals. So talent development, I'm absolutely pleased that Chamber is taking the lead.
And recently, the Florida Chamber Foundation released its trade and logistics study, and as you and I were talking off camera, that you had mentioned that in that study the word manufacturing is mentioned over 53 times. Clearly that's important to the doubling of exports, which the Florida Chamber was early in identifying as a path to strategic development and economic development. In fact, the trade and logistics study identified the creation of 143,000 jobs. What's your reaction to what that study does and why it's important to the state?
Well, I think it's extremely important because in manufacturing we're trying to work, and we have the same agenda as a national. We're trying to double the exports over the last 5 years. Logistics especially is important to manufacturers. We have a lot of containers leaving empty out of the state of Florida. Most of the exports in Florida are manufacturing goods, almost 90% of it. So I think exports is a lot of great products, and it's a great area to concentrate because that's what's really going to lead us to recovery.
Well, Al, again, thank you so much for your time. It's always a pleasure to be with you. I know we'll see you here in a couple of weeks as we prepare for board meetings and the caucus system as the Talent Supply and Education Caucus continues its work. Ladies and gentlemen, again, pleasure to spend some time with Al Steinmack, President and CEO of Metal Essence. Al, thank you. And we'll see you next time on WFCF.